fill in the blanks essentially between the rest of the table. I'll show you how that's going to work here when we're capturing our, doing our spark timing optimization right now. Let me put my headphones on. We can bring the dyno down here into its run mode. We're at 3,000. So we're actually going to bring the dyno down here. I'm going to start off at 2,000, and we're going to go again 2,000, 35, and then let's say 5 or 5,500. We're going to go through these points. That's all we need in order to fill out the rest of the table. And let's go demonstrate this real quick here. Let me go fire off the engine. Let's give it a run real quick. All right, I'm going to hit Control L. I'm going to start the data log real quick. Pay attention to the torque output on the dyno. I'm going to do my best at holding my foot fixed here and making sure that I don't allow more throttle input as I'm driving so it doesn't vary the torque. I'm going to keep the airflow fixed as best I can and change the spark timing. I'm going to pre-highlight this area right here at roughly 15 to 2,500. I'm just going to change the timing values in here because I don't know quite where I'm going to be at in RPM, and I don't want to interpolate between these columns. I just want to keep bumping the timing up. So let me bring it up to 2,000 here in the dyno, and then we're just going to watch live torque output, and we'll figure out where that maximum brake torque point is going to be at in terms of the timing, the torque increase. Past a certain point, it's not going to do anything adding any more timing. All right, so let's go ahead and try this real quick. Stop our data log. We're not going to save it. We shut off the car so we can talk a little bit easier. Okay, so it should be very clear watching what I was doing, adding the timing in and watching the live torque output while keeping my foot fixed. So what we found here is at roughly 2,000, 22 degrees seemed to be the sweet spot. 3,000, roughly 32 degrees was the sweet spot, and 5,500, 32 degrees was the sweet spot. So that's not unsurprising. With a K-Series engine, it's about where the factory ECU would be at. Now what we need to do is fill in the blanks here because we only swept 3 separate areas or columns of the RPM input to the table. Let's go and build out the table from this point. So I'm going to go here from 1250 to 2000. So we're going to highlight between here. And we're going to do H. That's horizontally interpolating. We're just building this out. 2 to 3000. Horizontally interpolate. And then here from 3000 all the way to 9000. You see 32 degrees seem to be about the sweet spot. I'm going to assume that the timing is not going to change very much going into the high RPM. So I'm going to go and set this also to 32 degrees up top here, and then just do a horizontal interpolation and do H. Now, a couple things. We're not able to get to our lower vacuum range in the table. We can't hit that. Again, I can't really get down to that low vacuum range. So I know, based on an OEM ECU and based on just my experience from tuning, you can run more timing down here because the load is very, very low and it improves the drivability. What I'm going to do here is grab my values from roughly 2,500 to roughly negative 14 to roughly maybe negative 10. Very light vacuum. I'm going to do Shift plus and bump the timing in here a couple more degrees. I'm going to go up here to about 38 degrees. And then I'm just going to bring this up here into a vertical interpolation. I'm filling in some of our lower points. When I was doing the part throttle calibration process here, I was kind of in the middle band of the load range. So that was holding true for kind of the middle range of my load, -5 to probably -2. But below here in vacuum, I can run more timing. I don't need the dyno to check that. It's just based on experience and based on what Honda does in the factory ECU. Now, a couple of things here. We're going from 0 commanding 32 degrees to 2 pounds commanding 0. What we're going to do here is just do a vertical interpolation. I'm going to blend this in. So from -1 to 2 psi, I'm going to do V, just bring my timing down a little bit until we build out our full throttle area of calibration right here. We're going to do that the next video. This is just part throttle, so we're essentially just slicing this process in half here. So we're looking at the lower half of the table. The next video, we're going to start to build the upper half of the table. What I'm going to do is do Shift Control C here, and we're going to make those changes to the ECU. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, one other thing I want to talk about, because we're flex fuel based on this car, we do share our ignition table 1, ignition table 2. These two tables are actually shared together, so they're sourced based on our ethanol content that comes from our ignition blend table. I purposely went from 0 to 10%, and I set this at 0, meaning I'm focusing all of my spark timing when I'm on pump gas to my table 1. I'm bypassing table 2. And then when I'm at 70% ethanol and higher, I'm going to be all sourcing my values from my spark timing table 2. And then we're going to have to go deal with our spark timing table 2 at some point when we do the flex fuel tune here in a couple videos. But we're going to be focusing right now on just working within our table 1 here, and we don't need to copy over our value.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.